Welcome to my gorgeous island home of Cozumel. Hi everyone, I'm Belle, and today I just want to share with you about why I moved to Mexico. I live on the gorgeous island of Cozumel, which is across the strait from Playa del Carmen in the Riviera Maya region of Mexico. And the reason that I chose this area was because my top three reasons were: I wanted it to be safe, I wanted a walkable city, so I did not have to buy a car or a scooter or anything. I like walking everywhere. And I also wanted, which is a big thing for me, great food. So lots of fresh fruits and vegetables and things like this. And Cozumel ticked all the boxes for me. It is surrounded by natural beauty with the beach and the Caribbean, but also lots of plants and tropical everything. I love the warm weather year round, the warmth of the people. The Mexican people are fantastic, and Cozumel it had everything: the low cost of living, the affordability. We have about 6 different hospitals, so we have great healthcare on the island, but it also wasn't small enough that I would get bored. So there's plenty to do, and I'm just going to show you around the island and show you what my life is like here on Mexico. So come see where I live. I didn't really have any problems moving to Cozumel. It was very quick, very easy. I settled in well. The locals are very friendly, as I said, and most people are English speaking, so it was an issue. But for me, a big important thing of where I want to live is the natural beauty. And as you can see, I love that here along our main street, Melgar, they have all of these walkways down into the ocean, and it's very popular to go for a swim in the afternoons to cool off, and I absolutely love that. This is where I go swimming most of the time, and I do my laps. And I have a beautiful Mexican friend, Renata, who is a dive instructor, and because I love the ocean so much, she actually filmed this for me. So not quite what I see on my morning swims. I normally see swaying sea fans, but not fish in this degree. And this is Renata. Hi! As I said, most of the locals do speak English, and the only problem I had was with my landlord when I rented my villa. This is my villa. It's $500 a month, but the whole contract was in Spanish and he didn't speak English. But that was easily rectified with Google Translate, and I have amazing neighbors like the girls downstairs, and here's me introducing them to Vegemite.
Okay, so should we
Okay,
just
girls,
eat it?
just 1, 2, 3. Eat the Vegemite. Really? Not too salty,
No,
not too
it's
weird?
like soy sauce, but in a spread.
One of the best things about living in Mexico is the cost of living. As I showed you, my apartment, which is only $500 a month, but it's the little things. Like a friend of mine who lives in Vermont, she just told me that she went and bought a grapefruit and it cost her like $3. Here, it cost me 60 cents. Or I just bought 2 big, beautiful bunches of cilantro, and they cost about 40 cents each. So things like this, if you're like me and you like to cook, and you like to have lots of variety and a lot of choice, I can get everything here that I need or want, that I used to get back home. But the only difference is it is about 1/4 to 1/5 of the price. So I find it very affordable. But even things like medical things, I just went to the dentist this week, and it was an emergency trip, and I had the initial consultation plus dental x-rays plus a consultation with a specialist, and also a procedure, we'll call it, and the whole visit to the doctors cost me $30 US. Okay, I'm having to go back on Monday to get the tooth taken out, but it's only going to be just over $100. Whereas back home, it would cost me a lot more than that just to walk in the door to have a consultation with a dentist. So even for your medical expenses and medications, antibiotics, things like this, they are a lot cheaper here. The pharmacy just gave me injections for my antibiotics, and it cost me 20 pesos, which is about $1.20 for them to actually give me, a nurse to give me an injection. So it gives you an idea of the kind of treatment that you get here, and also the affordability of it.
And because it's so much more affordable, one of the things I love most is I get to meet my friends out more often. So here we're having breakfast right on the waterfront, fresh juice of the day, overlooking the gorgeous Caribbean. And it costs us about $6. Now, that's just amazing. Sorry, it'd be about $7, but it means that I can socialize more and hang out with friends more. And it's just fantastic.
Another thing very important to me is beautiful, not only the beautiful nature, which I adore, but also the culture. Now, there is a very big Mayan and Mexican culture here in the Yucatan region, and I love that mix. Like this is the shell, she is the goddess of our island, and you'll find that the locals, the Mayan descendants, they still leave little gifts of honey or flowers or something like this at her feet. Or you'll go over to Playa del Carmen and you'll see the Papantla flyers, which is these guys, you know, whizzing around doing a rain ceremony. And I just love that cultural influence. But most of the Mexicans here are Catholic. This is my local church, Corpus Christi, and you'll see that there are also heavy influences of Mexican art and culture all through the streets, like Frida here in tiles outside of someone's house, or there's Pbil, which is a beaded art form from the Huicol people further north in Mexico. But things like this will take him 6 months to do, which I find fascinating. It's a commission for someone, obviously, but it's a beautiful art form of Mexican culture. Of course, we have the Day of the Dead, Dias de los Muertos, and this is an exhibit that was just on at my museum here on the island, and it was all local artists and their beautiful paintings for the Day of the Dead. Getting out of town, I like to go driving around the island with my friends, and we just explore and take in the abundance of natural beauty. As I said, I'm a real nature lover, but we stop off and experience and explore all of these little pathways, and sometimes it is a bit off the beaten track and we can crawl through some things, as you can see. But this is in one of our national parks, and it leads out to the most amazing secluded bay that I'm sure no one ever goes swimming in. And as you can see, it's just beautiful. So this is one of my greatest joys living where I live, is all of this pristine natural beauty that is basically untouched by other people. Other times we head over to the wild side. As you can see, it can get pretty rough in the ocean there, so there's no swimming, but a lot of the time it's calm like this and just absolutely stunning scenery. So we stop off at places like San Martin. This is one of my favorite beaches, and it's my favorite because this is where the sea turtles come up to nest, and they're prized and they're looked after. And as you can see down in the sand, all of those stakes, this is where the turtles come up, build their nest, and it is marked by ecologists, and they mark when the babies are ready to hatch, and they come back and rescue them and make sure that they all get to the ocean safely. So this is where we'll come sometimes, and we'll just sit and have a wonderful beach picnic and a glass of wine, and you must admit you can't beat that view. The only thing I've heard from friends is that it might be a little bit harder. It's a process to get your driver's license in Mexico, which is probably another reason I chose not to drive. But that's why whenever they head down to somewhere like here, like Punta Sor, another favourite place of mine in the southern tip of the island, they normally invite me, and we have a lovely day out and a lunch and make nice new friends like this rescued macaw, who is an absolute sweetheart, or climb the lighthouse for an amazing view of the island. And it's, once again, it's just nice to be submerged in nature. So as you can tell, I do love nature, but I love the ocean. And if I'm not swimming in it in the morning, we love doing sunset sails of an evening. They only cost about $25. They include drinks and snacks, friendly locals, and it's just a lovely way to end the day.
I'm a real foodie. I love good food and I love experience the traditional street foods and national foods of Mexico. These are called tlacoyos and they are just masa dough with beans put inside and you choose your toppings. They'll normally put some cream and cheese and then you have shredded pork or chicken or something like this. My favorite is huitlacoche, which is a truffle mushroom. And I also enjoy introducing friends to street foods. This is a salbote, which is traditional for the Yucatan, and you'll find it a lot in our nation's capital of Merida. Or if you like the sweet treats, the macasitas. You will find these everywhere in the afternoons, in parks, all throughout the Yucatan and a lot of other places in Mexico, although they originated here. And it may sound weird, but it's like a crepe with Nutella and a sharper cheese, like a Edam or something like that. And it sounds like an unusual combination, but it really works and they are very, very popular. So you just, when you go for a walk after dinner, a lot of people will go to the park and take their kids to play and they'll pick up a macasita, which is a really sweet tradition. As I said at the start of the video, I love to cook and it's something that's very important to me and it also helps you assimilate into the culture as well, I think. So I went to Playa del Carmen and did a Mexican and Yucatan cooking class, and here we're making gorditas, which means little fatty, and they're masa stuffed with cheese, which I love, but also the Pbil dishes like chicken Pbil, as you can see here, and conchinita, which is a suckling pulled pork Pbil, are very famous and very common on the Yucatan. This is what gives the red flavoring, achiote, which is a ground up local seed made into a paste, and it's very popular here.
There's a lot in that. Is it good?
Delicious. It is so good. Tender, flavorful. They added the onions, the little basting that he did on top, whatever the juice is. Oh my God.
The basting, that's the Pbil. That's the traditional Pbil sauce, which they use on their meats. Another thing I love about my life in Mexico is they have excellent public transport. I just went up to our capital of Merida just to have a look around because this is our cultural center where you find all of the beautiful art galleries and museums and everything. And the bus there was about $25, very clean, very fast. Friends come with me sometimes on my trips. I took the bus down to Pbil, which cost me about $3, and that's about 40 minutes away on the mainland, to swim in the cenotes. So you can even do it on a day trip, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. Or go and spend a week in somewhere like Tulum, which I did last year, and to see it hang out on the beach and that wonderful eco vibe. But I have taken the public transport all the way down south, bordering on the Belize border, to Bacalar, which has the Lake of Seven Colors. And this is sailing Bacalar Lagoon, okay? And it is absolutely stunning. And as I said, the bus down there probably cost me about $35. So very cheap, very affordable, and very safe.
So in summary, I just want to say that how it's impacted me moving to Mexico, my life is a lot less stressful. I don't have the financial stresses that I did have because you don't need as much to live. I found that the laid-back island lifestyle and everyone is a lot more forgiving, a lot more easygoing. It's a lot less stress there as well. Also, downsizing, not having the big house. Like back in Australia, I had a 5-bedroom house and it took me all weekend just to clean it. So just having a smaller place and now living in an apartment is an absolute godsend, not having as much stuff. And that's something that I hear regularly from a lot of people. So basically, moving to Mexico, I live a lot better on a lot less, and it's a lot less stress, both financially and personally. And I just love the lifestyle, getting out and about, and I can't recommend it enough.